Good Thursday morning. I'm meteorologist Ed Matthews. Want to get you updated on Tropical Storm Debby. The latest advisory coming in just moments ago. This is the 11 a.m. advisory. And right now, the storm continues to weaken. That's a great thing. Winds are down, sustained winds down to 40 miles per hour. It's just barely a tropical storm. And I think by the next advisory at 2 p.m., we're going to have a tropical depression. Moving over land, of course, it is weakening and also starting to pick up a little bit in its forward motion. It's turning more on a north-northwesterly track, and we think eventually, probably this afternoon, more of a northerly track. Now, the track really hasn't changed that we've been seeing over the past day or so. Still looking like the remnant low or the tropical depression will be moving through our part of the Piedmont, right through the Piedmont later today and overnight tonight. And with the anticipated forward motion being a little bit faster, check this out. Tomorrow morning, it could be well up into northern Virginia. So I think we could actually see some improvements in terms of the winds lessening and also the heavier downpours lessening somewhat after midnight tonight. That is a possibility. So a bit of good news, continuing to weaken, soon to be a tropical depression, and starting to pick up in its forward motion, moving to the north-northwest now at 10 miles per hour. Now, it's been very interesting. You know, usually when we have a hurricane, like when the system moved inland in the Big Bend of Florida several days ago, it was a tightly wound storm, and the convection and the thunderstorms and the tornado warnings and the flood warnings were right around the center. But look how it's expanded out, and that's exactly what we would expect with a tropical system when it starts to weaken. The structure of it kind of falls apart. So even though the system now is about 80 miles to the southeast of Charlotte, through the morning, the heaviest rain, flood warnings, and also several tornado warnings east of Raleigh have been right over North Carolina, but some of that rain now moving into Virginia. So it kind of expands out a little bit as these tropical systems weaken. And by the time the system actually moved through our area overnight, the heaviest rain will be well north and west of our area. But we still got rain in the forecast through early tomorrow morning. Now, as we take a look at all these polygons here. These are green polygons that represent flash flood warnings. Of course, a warning when we're talking about any rough weather and severe weather indicates that that particular bad weather is going on. So really much of central and eastern North Carolina, over half of the state of North Carolina is currently under flash flood warnings. And you can see just about all of our area under those warnings now. Just recently, Wilkes County has been added to the flash flood warning. Also, Surrey County has been added. And earlier this morning, about an hour and a half ago, we had Stokes and Rockingham County. And these have been extended. You know, we talked about earlier on the Good Morning Show, the Metro Triad was under a flood warning until 10:15. Well, that's been extended for sure. And really, most of these warnings that are in effect right now are in effect up until about 4 o'clock, 4:30 this afternoon. So anywhere in these counties, we are experiencing some flash flooding. Now, east of Raleigh, it's been a busy morning weather-wise. Numerous tornado warnings have been issued, and near Wilson, North Carolina, in Wilson County, we had actually a tornado to cause some damage at a middle school there, and our news team will have more information on that coming up at noon. And also down in Bladen County, near Bladenboro and White Lake, they've had some heavy downpours, and they had to have some rescues because of high water down in southeastern North Carolina. Now, in terms of the tornado risk moving forward through the afternoon, we're not technically in it. but there's a lot of wind shear here. There's a lot of rotation around that low. And we think the better chance will be down east from Raleigh and on down to the east with a 5% chance of tornadoes developing, and that has certainly materialized this morning. We think for the most part it'll be quiet here in the Triad, but again, we're on guard for anything that could happen, and of course we'll keep you posted if one was issued a tornado warning, but it is a low end risk. Take a look at these amazing rainfall totals so far, and they keep going up. Nearly 2 3/4 inches out at PTI, 2 inches in Winston-Salem, about 1 inch at Lexington, but some areas of Davidson County much more than that. Asheboro over 2 inches. Look at Burlington and Alamance County. That area has had over 3 inches of rain, and we've been talking about the possibility of 3 to 6 inches of rain. We've got the entire afternoon and the overnight period for more rain here in the Piedmont. These are the current wind gusts. A 41 mile per hour wind gust at PTI, 38 mile per hour wind gust, 22 at Asheboro, 25 over at Burlington. A little breezy out over the mountains and foothills, but nothing significant. I think in general what we've been forecasting, a 35 to 45 mile per hour wind gust. Now look at this. So far today, we've had a whopping 52 mile per hour wind gust at PTI and 46 over at Winston-Salem. But again, in general, the wind gusts have been around 35 to 45 miles per hour. That's what we have predicted, and that is what we're seeing. Of course, the stronger winds will be in the eastern semicircle of the system as it moves right through our part of the Piedmont. The strongest winds will be on the eastern part of the rotating storm. Rainfall amounts look like they're verifying. We think from the Triad north and west, we've been forecasting 3 to 6 inches of rain. That may actually turn out to verify. It's on the way to happening. But as you head down through the Sandhills over towards Mebane and Raleigh-Durham, Chapel Hill, as much as 4 to 7 inches of rain. And again, on that eastern semicircle, anywhere from 7 to 10 inches of rain in parts of southeastern North Carolina. And with those gusty winds, we've had power outages around the area, and they're continuing to grow, and we'll have more of those as we move through the afternoon. Again, the highest number of the power outages will be over eastern and southeastern North Carolina, and then a few out over the mountains and foothills. Duke Energy will do their best to try to get the power back on, but remember, this is a wide area where we're seeing power outages, so they've got their work cut out for them. So it could potentially, in a few spots, take a while for the power to come back on. Now, as we look at our forecast model, the heaviest rain has been this morning. I think the trend, and we're hoping that the trend will be for things to kind of quieten down a little bit. I think showers will become more widely scattered during the afternoon and overnight period, but some of these rain bands that will move through the area still could dump some heavy rainfall that could lead to more flash flooding. But with the system moving a little bit faster in its forward motion and moving on up into northern Virginia by tomorrow morning, you know what? Friday may actually turn out to be pretty dry, and how about some increasing sunshine in the afternoon? We could start out with a few leftover showers in the morning. They would be generally light, but certainly with the system moving away, vast improvements. And if you're thinking about the weekend,